My name is Devin Burghart. I am a proud 2007 Petra Fellow, and I have the great honor of introducing another of our fantastic 2012 Petra Fellows. I had the privilege of working with our next Petra Fellow back in 2006 or 2007 when I was still living in Chicago, when she was courageously organizing community opposition to what was then the anti-immigrant vigilantes known as the Minutemen. Since then, she's gone on to found a dynamic new organization that has worked on the Chicago Southeast side to fight for the rights of workers, to combat wage theft, and to build community. And in the space where the cacophony of male voices and the machismo attitude is often overwhelming, she's become a beacon, a strong voice, a mentor, and significant role model to young Latinas working for social justice in and around Chicago. It is my great honor and my privilege to introduce to you today the 2012 Petra Fellow, Guajardo Carrillo.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Every day we are faced with challenges that we must learn to overcome them. I have learned to overcome these challenges through many obstacles that I have faced, learned to pick myself up and continue going. Growing up in the southeast side of Chicago with immigrant parents, I began to identify myself as a daughter of undocumented immigrant parents, a woman, now a mother, Latina, and Mexican American. In the southeast side of Chicago, for those who are not too familiar with South Chicago, it's a community that used to be very popular when the steel plants were up and running, and for many years when the steel plants started closing, has been overlooked. And many people are not familiar with this area, but Chicago continues further south, up to the point where we're 5 blocks away from Indiana. This is a community that's full of great leaders, many who go unrecognized. And so the work that we've done as a community organization, which was founded in 2008 by myself and several other community leaders and my husband, Centro de Trabajadores Unidos Immigrant Workers Project. A few years later, I became the executive director as paid staff. And so our community organization works with the undocumented, vulnerable, low-wage immigrant workers, a population that lives every day with fear of being pulled over, every day with fear of complaining or demanding their rights because they know that their employers are either going to fire them or call immigration on them. So these are the stories that we hear every day from workers in our community. In particular, Jose Perez, a worker, a father of 3, and a husband, worked for an employer in our community 60 to 72 hours a week, getting paid $300 to $400 a week. This is just one story of many other workers in our community who continue to get exploited by many employers who see the opportunity of taking advantage of immigrant workers and know that if they do speak up, they have an opportunity to, either fire them, and we've heard it many times where they've tried to make some phone calls to immigration and letting them know that here are some workers who should not be working. Jose Perez is just one of many other workers in our community who continue to face these challenges. And myself, being a first-time mom, my daughter here, she's only 2 months. Today's her 2nd-month birthday. Now I really see the importance of being at home, and I know that just like Jose and many other workers, the fact that you're working hard every day, you're away from your family is a big challenge for yourself and for your family, and it's not easy work. But you do it because you need to work hard. You do it because there's a family you have to support, and then no matter what happens at the workplace, you're going to continue working. Our organization, in particular now, as a result of Jose Perez and 12 other co-workers who filed a complaint against an employer for the wages that were stolen, towards the end of the negotiations, after 9 months of public campaigns, we were able to actually sit down with the employer and come up with a community agreement, which was formerly known as the Code of Conduct, but now we're referring to it as the community agreement, which was modeled by Rock of New York, another worker center in New York. And now this community agreement allows the employer to work with community organizations and community leaders to respect the rights of workers. And Jose, along with several others in the community, are holding these employers accountable for their actions. This is a big project that we're currently working on. We're in the process now of working with the employers and educating them about the rights of workers, but also as an employer, what you have to do to follow the law. And the importance of this project is that we're not just on the other side. We understand that there's very good employers, and this is something that we're currently working and we're bringing exposure to. And we don't want workers like Jose and many others to continue to suffer in our community. We also do a lot of immigration work, from trying to pass, we'll be in Springfield, in our state capital in a few weeks, state legislation that will grant undocumented workers and everyone in the state of Illinois a driver's license to drive in Illinois. So we're hoping we can get this passed. This is just one of also many other projects that we're currently working to ensure that workers in our community continue to get respected. And I'm very humbled to be here, and although I feel that there should be the workers like Jose and other leaders here present, because these are people from the community who are actually fighting for their own campaigns, are publicly going against their own employers and taking that risk regardless of what could happen to them. And so I want to make sure that I go back to our community and let them know that they are being recognized for this work. I am just here to, ensure that the work continues as the executive director, but that their voices are more important than anything, and that their voices will be heard here today and there in our community. Thank you so much for this opportunity.